You're watching Teen Kids News. I'm Lila. This entire season, we're celebrating our 20th year. Let's begin with our top story.
This report is brought to you by BYU TV. For a number of years now, we've been telling you about a pretty amazing competition. Called All-Round Champion, it's a TV program that features teens who compete in all kinds of sports, but with a twist.
This season, 9 exceptional athletes representing 9 separate sports have left their families and friends.
My whole family's in Ocean Away. I'm starting to miss home.
To compete in the ultimate sports competition. However, they won't be competing in their own sport. They'll be competing in each other.
Nope. Quick, get in!
With only 3 days to learn, train, and master a new sport.
Stop!
They will be pushed beyond what they thought possible. They have overcome obstacles.
You gotta adapt.
Achieved excellence.
I don't like people telling me what my limits are.
Have never let anything keep them down.
Stop! Show them that you're a fighter.
Wipe your tears, keep your chin up, keep fighting, because you've got it in you.
Will they rise to this challenge?
You did awesome.
And who will rise the highest?
You guys are certainly impressive. Please introduce yourselves and tell us what sport you usually do.
My name's Braden Butler. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and I rock climb.
I'm Lily Brooke, and I'm from Salmon Arm, BC. I'm a wheelchair boxer.
I'm Jackson Atwood. I'm from Spokane, Washington, and I play wheelchair basketball for Eastern Washington University.
You're all experts in your own chosen sport, but in the competition, you had to do sports that were new to you. Braden, which one did you find most challenging?
Funny enough, I've been a pretty strong swimmer my whole life, but going from training in a pool, the whole portion of our training, and then on the competition day, on the final day, they throw us in open water. And I'll tell you this right now, lakes in Canada are not like lakes in Alabama. It was practically an ocean. And so I think swimming was one of the most challenging sports for sure.
Lily, which competition did you have to dig deepest for?
That was climbing. That was 100% climbing. I went into the week completely not wanting to do it at all because I didn't know if I could. Then the week came along and I actually found some cool adaptations. So it definitely helped, but I think getting over that part mentally was the most difficult for me.
Jackson, let's switch it up. Which challenge did you like the best?
Oh, something I like the best. I was just thinking about something I didn't like. Something that I liked the best was, I really liked sailing. That really surprised me. I love being out on that water, and some days it was no wind, but once the wind started picking up, you kind of it feels free to be in that boat and to just go around, and you are that boat. It was really fun.
And which sport did you find the hardest?
The sport that I found the hardest was goalball. I feel like the aspect of having no vision really kind of confused me, and it was hard to just kind of adapt in that sense of not having vision.
I can imagine. We've got to pause here for a quick break. We'll continue talking with these inspiring athletes when Teen Kids News returns. Be right back. Welcome back. We're talking with 3 amazing athletes who competed in this year's all-round champion competition. Not only did they have to go head-to-head in sports they only had 3 days to learn, each of them had to overcome personal difficulty.
My anxiety definitely is getting the best of me for sure. I'm not giving up. I'm just going to give it all I have.
That grit and that ability to stop panicking, find your calm place, and start again, that's what makes a champion.
Just to recap, there are 9 competitors, each a proven expert in his or her own sport, and everyone rotates through all 9 sports. But when it's the sport you're already good at, you don't compete, right?
Right, you actually coach.
Okay, we're just gonna start out dribbling with your dominant hand. Keep your head up, don't look at your ball.
And for the first 3 days, you're gonna be coaching the rest of the athletes, and on the 4th, you all compete.
And the producers of the program bring in outside experts in each sport. How did that go?
It went really well, actually. So for my week, they ended up bringing in Leo Samarelli, who is the Boxing Canada representative for the adaptive community.
Good. I know it's a lot to process, and that's what boxing is to me. It's about adapting to any situation that's given to you in the ring and out of the ring.
And it was so cool to be able to meet him and all the other athletes that came in.
With each event, you get the chance to win medals, gold, silver, or bronze, and each is worth a certain number of points. But just being the best at an event isn't the only way to earn points, is it?
Yeah, so you definitely can perform at your best of abilities and you can get 25, 20, and 15 points for getting on that podium. But also, what ended up really changing the way that the show played out was shout-outs, where you get 10 points per shout-out, showing leadership and other great values to have in sport.
The shout-out for ferocity goes to Lily.
Yeah! And if you place in one of the top 3 sports, you get to be on the podium. What does that feel like?
Being on the podium was amazing. I loved it, putting all that hard work in over training and then it really showing off in competition felt great.
Lily!
Yeah! Congratulations.
I agree. It was definitely super rewarding to be able to stand up there. And I think often it was us 3 standing up together, which was pretty cool.
Jackson! Yeah!
Let's go, Jackson.
Let's go. Congratulations, Jackson.
It was great. Yeah, a couple of times we were in the same podium for different weeks, and it's like, oh, hey guys, we're back up here again.
So at the end of the competition, what does the person with the most points get?
At the end of the 10-week competition, the winner of the show actually gets a belt, and it really, resembles the hard work they put in over the 10-week process.
Pretty cool. Okay, here's a question for all of you. What did you learn from the experience? Lily, you go first.
Oh my gosh, I learned so much from the experience. I think one of the biggest things was probably the whole mental side of sport.
Lily's been told by people before that she can't do certain things, and she's proved them wrong.
So there's, of course, you have to be physically capable and you have to have skills, but you also have to have skills in your mind as well. So not getting caught up in competition and just being you is what I really try to focus on, but it's greatly how I learned as well throughout the entire competition.
Jackson, how about you?
For the competition, a lot of what I had to do was overcome the pressure from a lot of the other athletes.
I've seen how ugly people can get fighting for the top. I'm here because I love athletics, so I will be focusing on that love today.
I had to learn to kind of keep it to myself and to perform the best that I can. It's a solo competition, you're fighting for that spot with everybody else, just ignore them and try to work for the best for yourself. And also enjoy who you have there with.
And Brayden?
This one wasn't luck. This one was definitely communication and skill, and I think we really were able to keep our cool.
In this competition and experience, I definitely learned a lot about just embracing the people around you. But I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was how I can flip a switch in my mindset. Because about halfway through the season, I went from being super, super competitive to just out there having a good time. And that's when I performed my best. And I even used that in this previous rock climbing nationals this March.
Even though you guys were competing against each other, did you become friends?
100%. Yes. And especially off camera too, back in the dorms, we all kind of just, there's rarely we were ever by ourselves. We were always with someone, always hanging out, inside, outside, just doing whatever.
Yeah, when you live with a group of people for over 2 months, you definitely get pretty tight-knit.
I think even from the first week, we all got pretty close really fast.
Well, I can't wait to see who won. But I think it's pretty clear that all of you are all-around champions. Thanks for talking with us.
Of course. Thank you.
All Around Champion airs on the Family Entertainment Network, BYU TV, Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It also streams the following day on the free BYU TV app or at byutv.org. The coach of 2 U.S. Olympic gold medalists said, "A champion isn't made of muscle, a champion is made of heart." This season's all-around champion competitors certainly prove that. For Teen Kids News, I'm Katarina.
We have to take a quick break. But don't go away, because Teen Kids News will be right back. We can all use some advice on how to do our best in school. So, Christin's back with another Make the Grade report.
To build your vocabulary, you need to persevere. That's today's word, persevere. It means to be constant to a purpose, even in the face of obstacles. Here's one way you can persevere in building a great vocabulary. When you encounter a word you don't know, take a moment to look it up. But just looking it up isn't enough. You need to learn it. So add it to your calendar, say a week or two ahead. Persevere. Persevere. When that day rolls around, see if you remember what the word means. If you do, congratulations, you've mastered a new word. If you don't remember it, look it up again. And now, make it your word for the day. Use it as often as possible. That's a great way to persevere in putting it into your memory. I'm Christin, persevering towards helping you make the grade.
It's time for another important message brought to you by the National Road Safety Foundation.
I saw that. You're sleepy.
Nah, I'm fine.
Hey, I'm your conscience. You can't lie to me. You were up late studying, then got up early, played the whole game, and then hung out with your friends past midnight. No wonder you're tired.
I just turned up the AC to keep me awake.
That doesn't work. Neither does opening the window. Nope, loud music won't help either.
You know, what should I do?
Well, you should have gotten at least 8 hours of sleep.
A little late for that.
Yeah, but saying I told you so feels so good. Anyway, you could have spent the night at your friends. But if you're driving and you're getting sleepy, the best thing to do is stop driving as quickly and safely as possible, or else...
Wow, it was only a dream.
This whole season, we're celebrating our 20th year on the air. You'll probably be surprised to hear what one of our former newscasters is doing today. We'll show you right after this. Let's take another look back at the early days of Teen Kids News.
If you have some major studying to do, take a hike. A new study shows getting out and moving increases blood flow in the brain. That makes you more alert.
Hi, my name is Lauren. I started the show when I was 11 years old, and I did it for 9 years. I was the headlines reporter.
Hi, I'm Awanza.
I'm Jessica. Welcome to this edition of Teen Kids News.
Let's check in with Lauren for the week's top news stories.
The economic crisis took center stage this week.
So for headlines, I had to record what was happening in the news that would be relevant for teenagers once a week, which meant I was one of the reporters working, not the most, but probably the most constantly.
Get ready for 2 new nickels. If you think the world is crowded now, just wait till the year 2050. A recent survey found most parents spent more on restaurants last year than they put away for their kids' college savings. And those are the headlines for this week. Jessica?
I worked really close with the producers who would pick the stories and help me on my delivery.
That means they'd be about the size of a modern-day jet fighter. Scary. Haley? Oh yeah, I did slur. I know.
Slurred modern day flying. One more time.
Sorry.
Slow down one more time. It's okay.
I also got to do some really fun feature stories.
Forget the movies. I'll take you inside the real headquarters of the CIA. The ancient Mayans used rivers for their highways.
They say you can see the Eiffel Tower from just about anywhere in Paris.
But I don't see it. Find out why some students choose colleges where guys can't apply.
This is City Hall, the oldest public building in Brussels.
Have you decided what to do with the time that's given you?
Well, I've done quite a lot with the time that has been given me.
One of FDR's achievements will never be matched. No president can be elected to more than 2 terms again because Congress changed the Constitution after he died. Ken told me that even though a documentary is based on facts, how you put those facts together can be very dramatic. It's been said that to be a good diplomat, you need to be able to divide a pie into different pieces and make everyone think that their piece is the biggest. In the briefing room at the U.S. State Department in Washington, D.C. for Teen Kids News, I'm Lauren.
So I worked with the kids for an intense 72-second montage, sharing everything I know about this little thing we like to call the news business.
I was terrified. I remember they told us very strictly not to try to act or be funny, but to let Rob do all of that.
How to emote.
Did a friend of yours die today?
No.
Then you should smile. Let's see the smile. Let's see.
So when it came to doing my scene, he was trying to get me to act like a diva and throw a water bottle.
And how to act like a real pro.
Here's your water.
I want lemon.
Louder.
I want lemon!
Good. Very good. Now throw it. All right. More than that. Throw it. Throw the thing. Throw it.
Where?
Throw it.
I was just so scared. I just kept dropping it. I didn't know what else to do.
As the seconds ticked by and the music swelled, I began to truly bond with these kids.
But I was really excited when it made it into the final program. It was a great experience to get to see the world and some of the most famous sites like the Eiffel Tower, the windmills in Holland, and even at an ancient Mayan temple.
One of the things you can do in Belize is learn to scuba dive. Okay, Renee, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Probably my favorite memory of being on Teen Kids News was being on the red carpet for the third Harry Potter film.
So how's this premiere compared to other ones so far?
It's amazing. They're amazing. They keep being amazing. They're so exciting each time. It's much bigger. It's a lot more scary as well.
Oh, I didn't think it could possibly get any bigger, but maybe it has. The amount of people, the energy, it's amazing.
Are you really tired now of saying, please turn to page 394?
Turn to page 394.
Imagine a book that had 395 pages in it.
Sounds like my math textbook.
I mean, it was surreal at the time. I was already on cloud nine from just being at the premiere, but yeah, to get to talk to Alan Rickman and make a joke, that was just, there's nothing that compares. I've been working in consulting for the past few years in the field of international development. That means I work with well-known organizations like the United Nations. One of the best skills I got from Teen Kids News was public speaking. I was a really shy kid and didn't like having to sort of speak in front of people, let alone adults or people of importance. And from Teen Kids News, having done interviews and stand-ups and bridges with famous movie makers, with famous actors, etc., really got me a lot more comfortable and really prepared me well for this type of work. The funniest moment I remember from working on the show is down at Universal Studios at Harry Potter.
The village of Hogsmeade looks just as you'd expect it to. From the bright red locomotive of the Hogwarts Express to Hagrid's hut. And of course, a highlight is a trip inside Hogwarts Castle. Let's go.
I was with another reporter, Nicole, and we were working on the clothes for the show when we were supposed to clink our butterbeers and sign off.
Thank you. Delicious and refreshing. Delicious and refreshing.
After a few takes, we were both pretty tired, and apparently we're still not giving it quite as much oomph as we needed to. So I made sure the last take had a whole bunch of oomph. Nicole got splashed and was a bit wet, but everyone else thought it was funny.
That's it for Worldwide Headlines this week. In Rome, Brussels, Belize, Switzerland, Amsterdam, Florence, Paris, Hawaii, in Washington, D.C., as they say in Prague, Nasledano. That means goodbye. On top of the world, for Teen Kids News, I'm Lauren.
It's time for another short break, but we'll be right back with more Teen Kids News. So stay with us.
Sometimes even the experts make mistakes. Back in 1961, New York's Museum of Modern Art hosted an exhibition of the works of French artist Henri Matisse. One of the paintings in the exhibit was this one, called Le Bateau. That translates as the boat. For almost 2 months, thousands of visitors attended the exhibition and gazed admiringly at Le Bateau. Unfortunately, Le Bateau had un problème. The painting had been hung upside down. And no one noticed. Not the art experts, nor even Matisse's son, who was actually an art expert himself. Finally, one visitor pointed out the mistake. Red-faced, the museum rehung the painting, right side up. I wonder how you say oops in French. With Art Smart, I'm Katie.
Well, that wraps up our show for this week. But we'll be back with more Teen Kids news next week. See you then!